Can Virginia Tech do the unthinkable against the Blue Devils?
Will the Lady Hokies continue their hot streak against the in-state rivals UVA?
It's a fight on all coasts for the ACC crown.
We're talking all that and more on this edition of the 3304 Sports Tip-Off Show.
Welcome in to the Center for the Arts in Blacksburg, Virginia. Landon Weaver alongside Haden Tolbert for the 3304 Sports Tip-Off Show. And Haden, it's been pretty cold around here lately.
Yeah, we had pretty much all classes canceled before, Monday and Tuesday. We went back Wednesday, and it was in time for that Georgia Tech game, and that was a good one.
Yeah, speaking of Tuesday, the Hokies took down Georgia Tech 71-66 on Tuesday. And what did you think of that game, Haden? There was a lot going on.
Yeah, I feel like it was jam-packed. Of course, students came. They had free jerseys for everybody. The student Castle Guard came and showed out. I think that was amazing and crucial for the Hokies to win that game. But also, you had some highlight plays. You had Toby Lawal blocking it into the stands. You had him dunking on a few guys as well. But you also had a great performance by Ben Hammond, and then a large lead kind of whiffed away late in the game.
Yeah, it's been the story of late for the Hokies, but let's take a look on how that game unfolded, Haden.
Early in the first half, Cam Craft comes off the pick, goes, and then a Cam Craft shot on Avdalis for a quick three. He had 9 points early in the first half.
Yeah, it was not looking good for the Hokies at this point.
And then we had Jaden Shute getting a fast break ball, and he passes it cross court to Ben Hammond for the corner three, and it's nothing but net. And then Avdalis, having a pick from Gerdak, gets the pick, step backs, hits a rare three that he hasn't been shooting well so far in ACC play. He's hyped up.
Yeah, look at that reaction. Shows how much it means to him.
We have Avdalis once again, some help from Toby Lawal, back to Avdalis as he dribbles and hits a huge dunk, igniting the Castle Guard crowd. And we have other end, that a quick rebound by Gerdak, outlet pass to Ben Hammond as he drives in, and a great and one layup for Ben Hammond. He had 20 in this one.
Yeah, this really got the crowd going. This was when Ben Hammond started to show what he was made of in this one.
Ben Hammond with a pick off Lawal. He goes and throws an alley-oop to Lawal, a one-hand dunk for Lawal, and a poster that should be on SportsCenter Top 10. And next play, we have a Hansberry rebound to Bedford, to Hammond for the left wing three. And then once again, we have a rebound from a shot from Hansberry to Shute to Bedford for the right wing three, and another three for Ben Hammond. Once again, a great performance from Hammond. And then, like I said earlier, that huge block from Toby Lawal into the stands. And then late into the game, 21 seconds left, we have a great layup once again. And then as the Hokies win this one, 71-65 from a late surge from Georgia Tech. So now Duke's looking like a powerhouse in the ACC, like they are, mostly in recent history. But, what do you think their first loss is going to come in the ACC? They have Virginia Tech this coming Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, it could be Virginia Tech. I'm not saying that there's no chance for that, but, Duke is going to have a lot of time to prepare. They had a game on Monday against Louisville, and now they've got 6 days to prepare for Virginia Tech. But Tech's had a good record as of late against Duke in Castle Coliseum, winning 5 of the last 7, Haden.
Yeah, and, that's going to be a key, is the Castle Guard's going to have to show out like we saw against Georgia Tech. And, he came into the season with a spotlight, and it's going to be something that's going to be key for him and Duke to continue this run because, last year we saw last night, Colin Knippel and Cooper Flagg had a great game, and you can kind of ask, why didn't they win the national championship last year? But Cameron Boozer is going to need some help from his guys to, get over that hump. Yeah,
and looking at their schedule, they play UNC next weekend. That's always a good game, a good rivalry week game. That could be their first loss, but they also have Clemson coming up, but they demolished Louisville, a team that is in the top half of the ACC, and you got to wonder who is going to stop them.
Well, I would have to think maybe UVA. They have Testy Ritter, the offense, Malik Thomas. He can shoot the ball really well. They're just all well-rounded. They have Johan Grunlow. That's pretty good as well. I feel like UVA is going to be one of those teams.
Looking at a more personal level, do you think Boozer is the player of the year, looking at him or Debancia or anyone else?
I would have to say maybe A.J. Debancia, just because of his performances. He dropped 42 one night, and I just think him as just a a star in itself, maybe not playing through the team as he probably should or you've seen in college basketball. But I would say A.J. Debinsa is first, but Cam Boozer is a close second.
Well, Boozer came into the season with a lot of spotlight gleaming onto him, but this Hokies guard has had to earn a piece of the public eye. For more on Ben Hammond, here's Riley Klaus.
It's cold outside, but there's one Hokie that's getting hot at just the right time. Oh, it's not me, but I am going to head inside to get warm. Where was I? Ben Hammond. Let's take a step back, and I mean even before Hammond became a Hokie. Hammond was the point guard for an incredible Paul VI program who went 35-3 his senior year of high school. After a strong 4-year career, he signed with Rhode Island in 2023, but he reopened his commitment in early 2024. Virginia Tech took the opportunity to go after the Fairfax product, landing a commitment from the in-state recruit within 2 weeks. As a freshman, Hammond found himself thrust into immediate playing time. Earning 17 starts, he showed immense improvement. But with Mike Young finding new talent from the transfer portal and beyond, Hammond would begin this season coming off the bench. Hammond provided relief in 10 of the first 13 appearances of his sophomore campaign, but game number 14 proved to be a breakout for the developing guard. In another installment of the Commonwealth Clash, Hammond led Virginia Tech with 30 points against the Virginia Cavaliers to help the Hokies take down their rival in triple overtime. This contest was a career high for Hammond, but that showing proved to be a catalyst for what was to come in conference play. Halfway through ACC season, Hammond leads the team in scoring, three-point shooting, and steals in conference play. A true flash of lightning in transition and on the defensive end, Hammond has found his rhythm on the offense as well, with the ability to take the possession himself and get a bucket, or toss a flashy lob to his big man. Hammond truly keeps the defense on their heels. While the Hokies try to push for some extra basketball in March, critics may wonder if they have what it takes to make a run. But I have one response. They have been ready.
Thanks, Riley. And Haden, there's a lot of other players than Cam Boozer that we can talk about in the ACC, starting with Abuka Akori.
Yeah, we saw him firsthand. I saw him on the court when I was sideline reporting. He dropped 30 against the Hokies in a comeback win, so that's huge for him. But also, you see Boopie Miller and SMU having a thing going and having a good start, and then you see NC State. Who are these teams that are going to have a double bye come ACC tournament time?
Well, I really think there's probably 6 or 7 teams in the ACC that could be up for a double bye. You think about Clemson, UVA, NC State, Miami, even SMU and UNC, even though they're a little further down the list. All these teams have star player caliber guys on their team, and with that, you're always in contention for a double bye.
Yeah, I would have to agree. You know, Clemson is up there. They did lose to NC State, so I think NC State kind of makes that late push up in the end of the year, and then you have UVA, of course, and then Duke, and then, you know, Louisville also a sneaky bye, but, you know, these freshmen for Virginia Tech, they're going to have to step up to make sure that they can have a good performance in both ACC championships. But for more on the freshmen for both women's and men's, here's our very own Caleb Ogden.
As basketball season is in full swing, the Virginia Tech's freshman class are turning heads early with big impressions. On the men's side, guard Neocolis Avdalas and center Christian Gerdock and Antonio Dorn are seeing significant minutes as they prove themselves as Hokies. Avdalas is already a key contributor, averaging an impressive 13 points, 5 assists, and 3 rebounds per game. He has already had 2 30-plus point games this season and won ACC Rookie of the Week honors twice, quickly becoming a fan favorite. Dorn, despite dealing with a back injury, is still contributing 4 points and 2 rebounds per game, playing in a key role of Virginia Tech's rotation alongside Gerdock. Gerdock has taken major strides in the latter half of this season. Notably, in a triple overtime against Virginia, he claimed 19 rebounds, the most by a Hokie since 2011, and logged 46 minutes, boosting his average to 7 points per game and rebounds to 5 in limited time. Another notable freshman, Shamarius Snook Peterkin, hasn't yet made his mark at Castle Coliseum, but he impressed fans at Lane Stadium after his first season on the football team. Hokies are eager for this dual sport athlete to begin his basketball career. On the women's side, freshmen Amani Jenkins, Anaya Trett, and Spella Bretzel are quickly establishing themselves on the court. Jenkins has impressed coaches with her work ethic and remains reliable in critical moments, averaging about 2 points per game and scoring as much as 8 points in roughly 15 minutes of play. While Trent is being praised as a team player, leading the bench with 3 rebounds per game and providing depth with her unselfish style and determination. Bretzel brings versatility and consistency, shooting 60% from the field and 50% from the 3 in her limited minutes. Her experience playing across Europe adds a seasoned edge to the team. This freshman class is one to keep an eye on as the season winds down. Expect to hear a lot more from these Hokies as they are just getting started.
Great stuff, Kayla, as always. Now we have a Commonwealth Clash coming up. UVA had a great overtime win against Wake Forest, 3 overtimes that is, and Virginia Tech had a great performance against Pitt.
Yeah, you talk about Kamora Johnson playing over 54 minutes in that triple overtime game against Wake. And how about the Hokies? They struggled a little bit in the middle quarters of that game, but really took advantage of Pitt in that last quarter, outscoring them 20-10. And it was a well-rounded effort. Karis Baker, Kyla Freelon, Carly Wenzel, all 3 of them are going to have to step up if they want to beat UVA on Sunday.
Yeah, Coach Megan Duffy has done a great job for the Hokies, and she had kind of a rough year last year. One could say she missed the NCAA tournament and making the NIT, but she's having a year that could prove that she's the Coach of the Year this year.
Yeah, 17-5, 7-3 in conference play. Those aren't numbers to take lightly, Hayden. I think she does have a chance for Coach of the Year. But both UVA and Virginia Tech are on the bubble going into this weekend, and with 44 days, that's how long we have until the women's tournament field is decided, which means there's a lot of time for shakeups in the projected field. So far, Tech has built a strong resume, but our very own Lucas Harrison is here to break down how the Lady Hokies can bolster their resume even more by March 15th. Lucas.
Any college basketball team, men's or women's, has one goal and one goal only, and that's to win a national championship. But to do that, you need to make it to the NCAA tournament, and the Virginia Tech women's basketball team finds themselves on the bubble of dancing in March. If you don't know what the bubble is, allow me to explain. The bubble are the last 4 teams to make it to the tournament at large. Being a bubble team is one of the most stressful positions you can be in as a squad because you're just 1 or 2 games away from dancing in the NCAA tournament or becoming the #1 seed in the NIT, which is all too familiar to the Hokies. Last season, the Hokies were a #1 seed in the NIT and got bounced in the second round by Texas 69-59 with current Hokies basketball player Kyla Freelon on that Texas Tech team that beat them. But that's last season. What do the Hokies need to do to make the tournament this season? Well, it's simple. If they win all their games, then they'll make it to the tournament. Well, that's highly unlikely, so what's the bare minimum the Hokies need to do? Virginia Tech has 4 Quad 1 opportunities and 3 Quad 2 opportunities left in ACC play before the conference tournament. They also have Georgia Tech left, which is a Quad 3 game, and that is a must-win. A loss in that game would severely hamper the Hokies' chances of making the tournament. With a current Quad 1 record of 1-2, the Hokies need to win at least 2 of the 4 Quad 1 games if they want to lock up a spot in the tournament. In my opinion, their best opportunity is at UVA and home against UNC. UNC is ranked number 22 in the net, but it's their only opportunity to get a Quad 1 win at home, and the Hokies have only lost twice this season at home. At UVA is the lowest ranked team they play in the net that's a Quad 1 opportunity, and it's their shortest travel day in the Q1 sector. The other 2 Quad 1 games they have is at Notre Dame and at Stanford, which are 2 great ACC teams and 2 grueling travel days. In their 3 Quad 2 games, ideally, they need to win all 3. With a current record of 2-3 in Quad 2, they can afford to drop one, but in the game they're most likely to drop that one is NC State at home. NC State is ranked 26th in the net. It's already a borderline Quad 1 game. It's the toughest challenge the Hokies have in the Quad 2 sector. To sum it up, at minimum, the Hokies need to finish 6-3 in their next 9 games if they want a good shot at making the tournament, and after that, they have the ACC tournament, and the Hokies ideally need to make a deep run, maybe the 3rd or 4th round in that tournament to lock up an at-large bid. Coach Duffy and her squad control their own destiny. Wenzel has turned it around since her mid-season slump, and Baker has been vital to their current 5-game winning streak. And overall, the Hokies are playing their best basketball all season during the most important time of the season so far. So, will the Hokies make it to the tournament? It's up to them to prove that they should.
Well done, Lucas. And with that, that's going to bring us towards the end of our show. For 3304 Sports, Duke and UVA broadcasts can be found on Mixler this weekend, Duke on Saturday, obviously, and UVA on Sunday. Hayden, how excited are you for those games?
I'm pretty excited. And like you said earlier, the Duke history at Castle Coliseum is going to be huge in this one, and I'm excited to see that one.
Well, for our reporters, Lucas Harrison, Caleb Bogdan, and Riley Klaus, he's Haden Tolbert. I'm Landon Weaver saying so long from the Center of the Arts, and we'll see you next Friday.